Hey everyone, just Goran here and welcome to the first episode of the Season 1 tour of the Beekse Bergen project. In this mini-series we will have a look at the entire zoo together with the zoo's actual designer, Merkx, who you might remember from the rhino stall video that we did months ago. Sorry this took so long to come out. The first few episodes were actually recorded at the end of last summer, but I never got around to releasing them. I hope to get them all out soon and get started on Season 2 in the meantime. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. I don't know if you can hear audio, but over here we are at the entrance.
I can hear audio. I hear some birds singing and I also hear some music.
Yeah, it's the actual music playing at the entrance of the zoo, so... Klaas was kind enough to send over the files to me so I could put them in the game. And,
oh boy.
And we have that playing.
Wow. It's actually like I'm just a few meters from my office standing at the entrance.
Are you sick of the song yet, or do you still...
Well, the song, that's a funny thing. Personally, I really like the song, as well as Klaas, which you actually know as well already. But because of the success of the song, it's now playing everywhere in the park, and that's something I think we have to adjust a little in the future. So I think every area should have its own music. But for now, it's the actual park song, and it's cool you have it in your game as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sadly, I do have to pause the game most of the time because if I hit play, everything slows down so much, and the video looks a little bit. It doesn't look very smooth. So.
Okay, so we are going to walk through a paused park.
Well, we'll hit play when we're looking at animals and moving things, but.
Okay. Why is this elephant not white?
That is okay. So. Here we go already. Of course, there is certain limitations in the game. You have a limited number of items, and sometimes you can kind of combine things to make it look like other stuff. But to make a whole elephant statue, while we have this one available in the game, like I cannot make it look as close as that allows.
Okay, and so you can also not paint it white.
No, not this one.
Because that's one of the things we are proud of.
Yeah, it's a very iconic.
We have the only white elephant in the world, we always say. So when we built this entrance area back in 2018, first the elephant statue was painted kind of blackish gray.
Oh, I think I've seen pictures.
But when I was a child, we had a subscription at the Beekse Bergen Safaripark, and I was remembering the elephant being white. Then when we did the reconstruction back in 2018, I decided to paint it white again, and it cost me a lot of discussion because everyone's saying like, where the hell do you have a white elephant? Why shouldn't we paint it gray or grayish? But after a lot of discussion, we all said like, okay, you have elephants everywhere in the world, but you only have one place with one white elephant, and that will be our park. So let's paint it white again.
That's beautiful, yeah, because that's something actually worth mentioning. This is one of the many projects in the zoo that you've already had a hand in. So how long have you been a designer at the zoo actually?
I started in the zoo back in 2009, not as a designer but as a photographer. And then I had a 6-week internship at the zookeepers, and then I became a ranger, a tour guide for about 10 years. And during my time as a ranger, I already made some smaller designs. And then in 2014, I became an interner at the design division of Libema. And then I became head of design for the elephant stables, which we built in 2015. And that was my first big project. I say head of design. I was involved in the design of that project. And then in 2016, I became a literal designer myself. So for 5 years, as we speak.
Cool. Yeah, so we'll see a bunch. I think I know just about every project that you were involved in, but we'll see if I'm correct in that. Oh. And here in the background, we have one little fun detail. It's actually an episode of Komt een aap bij de dokter. One time I noticed here there was an episode playing, and I was like, oh, They actually play that here. Let's make an episode and.
Nice detail. Also, a nice detail is the leopard in the background,
Yeah.
which you put in the office of the guest services. We also have a holiday park.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 different kind of bungalows. We call them jungalows, and you've got this zebra, these giraffes, and these leopard prints on the exterior of these homes. And according to the painting on the exterior, there's also paintings on the walls on the inside. So we had zebra, giraffe, and leopard paintings, but of course you have to imagine that sometimes these get broke, and then they have to be replaced. So there was a whole stock of these paintings. And then because of this stock, all the divisions inside of the Beekse Bergen said, oh, this is nice, I want to hang it on my office. So all the offices of Beekse Bergen also have this leopard and zebra and giraffe paintings, but it's not meant for them, it's just for the holiday homes. But now they are all over Beekse Bergen as well in the office of the guest services.
Oh, that's really funny. All right, so this is the entrance area that you've worked on.
Yeah.
And, we have the Barabao.
Yeah.
We have.
I love the way you did this mural. That's actually like sick. And I already once when you was at Beekse Bergen, I asked you why don't you make it the way it would be perfect? But you are just this extremely into making it as it is.
Yeah.
So the one thing I really get annoyed with every time I see it is these lamps above the mural, and the left one is a little pointed to the inside of the mural, and the other one is pointing straight down. And I badly want to climb this building and put the other one down straight down as well. Because this happened because a bird flew to it once, and nobody
bothered
put
to fix it
back. So, yeah, it's actually quite a shame you also did that in your game, or maybe it's just very, very, very detailed.
I mean, that's actually something that I wanted to talk about with you, because I knew you had this grievance with me, so to say.
Yeah.
Because that's something that for a lot of Planet Zoo players is actually very interesting. They want to make realistic zoos, and a realistic zoo isn't the perfect vision of the designer half the time. Things happen, birds fly into lamps, things break, employees put down things all over the place that aren't maybe supposed to be there. And we like to refer to this as jank, which is like rommel, that sort of thing. And to capture that in the project, I think is very interesting, because it tells a story of the zoo, and it tells kind of that there's history, and that the park is being lived in, which I think is a very interesting thing.
It is very nice, and actually for this area it is especially because this is the first phase of this area, and we want to build an African city. And of course in an African city there are also people who live there, so you can't completely direct a city, and as well I can't completely direct this area. So I love the way employees live actually in there, and they put all these barrels and crates, and then suddenly there's like benches and stools and tables around, and every time I enter this area something changed, and actually that's something I like. But there's these small things like that lamp, which is not pointing straight down. These are some small cravings I have.
Oh, oops! Oh yeah, I forgot. I fixed this yesterday. People are getting stuck over here. I fixed it yesterday, but this morning
it's
I couldn't.
It's like in Roller Coaster Tycoon when people say I can't find the exit.
Yeah, that's kind of what's happening here, because I did some things that maybe I shouldn't have done. Using cheats basically, but this morning I couldn't open the zoo, so I had to go back to a backup, and everything I did yesterday is kind of gone. So I have to fix a couple of stuff. So here's something that's gone, and that we'll be removing
finally.
in the next in season 2 basically, when we're gonna update
this is called in the backstage we called this building when it was still there. We called it Dierenlandje, which is as much as Animal Land, because this part of the safari park, back when we opened the park, we only had the safari by car. And then during the 70s, there was a small piece of walking trail. And at first it was only in the back of the park, which we now know as Congo. And later on, there was also like a petting zoo at the front of the park. And the petting zoo was called Dierenland. And later on, this was one of the places where people could buy food in the park. And of course, it got the same name. And it was till the end of this building that it was called Dierenlandje.
Wow. And it's been here for a very long time then.
Very long time, yeah.
So, cool. All right, let's take a quick walk through to the chimp habitat, and then we're going to take my kind of usual route, which is counterclockwise. It actually also just happened to be the mandatory walking route during the Corona time, but I actually always walked that way. Oops. Okay, that's not supposed to happen.
We're standing on the roof.
Just ending up on the roof. So yeah, even the interiors are apart. So
yeah, wow.
The chimp habitats, even the chain roofs are up there.
Yeah.
Which
even the signs which ask people to not stick to the glasses.
Yeah, hopefully they read them.
What is this extreme fancy?
Yeah, that's something
fancy bench
I put there. I should probably get rid of. There is a bench here, if I recall correctly, but it doesn't look like this. It's just something I put here. There's a lot of kind of interesting developments. Like, I've been working on this project for a year and a half now, of course. And when I first started out, I had a very different priority, so to say. I was like, oh yeah, let's just approximate it as close as I can. And as I got better and better at the game, I became even more and more detailed. And it started to become, no, it has to be exactly right. So
the place we just got along, that used to be a souvenir shop.
Oh.
We have two almost similar buildings in Beekse Bergen for the apes, and this is the second one. So the first one was built in 2006 at the Plain of the Rhinos, and then in 2008 we built another on the entrance area, and both of them have a small store in it, which was actually for providing souvenirs. But they both closed down within a year because people couldn't find them.
Oh wow! Yeah, just not enough traction. Right, so here we have some gorillas, and this is also something you've worked on, I think, the expansion of the Gorilla Island.
Yeah. Which was actually not into the project. Actually, the project was only based on the entrance area. So we wanted to have a new toilet group and also have a new souvenir shop. That was basically the two things we definitely wanted. But then when we were processing this project, in your back, right where you stand now, there's this terrace, and that was actually one of the wishes as well. And the further we've got into the project, the more people were talking about why wouldn't we get this terrace as well, because I don't know if you know the situation before we rebuilt this.
I actually kind of do, because when I built this for the first time, I didn't have that many pictures of it, and I found pictures online, so I accidentally made the old version of it.
Oh wow.
And then I updated, because there were like zebra patterns on the back and stuff like that. And
actually, and
this
was
here.
There was a staircase. Actually, there was like a ramp, a grandstand for feeding presentations, and the Gorilla Island. It was, I think, maybe 2/3 of this. Yeah. So it rounded up just in the back of this cave in the front. And so this point we see on the right hand of your mouse right now, that's that whole thing we got with that, because in the years there was like this island was built in 2008. Then there was a new route around it, but there also was a route from the entrance along the other side of the safari restaurant, and there also was a path from the terrace back to the bottom towards the boat safari. So there was such a lot of paths. This was a part of the route, the point we stand now.
You can actually go through here, I think.
Oh, and you also made this. Yeah.
This is the old area.
Actually, this was the staircase up to the restaurant. So when we see at your right hand, it's incredible. You also made this fucking terrace heaters.
Actually, I took those from someone else made those.
This little bit which is laying on his side. What the... Okay. But when you turn around, you see, this. Oh, little back. Then you see the souvenir shop. The souvenir shop, when it wasn't there, you could walk from the entrance all the way, so it's the right, all along this, up, and then you went up here to the entrance of the restaurant.
Yeah.
That was basically the main route, so nobody came along the Gorilla Island. And when we made this souvenir shop, we had to make a new route along the gorillas. And then we said, let's also make this terrace. And then we said, let's also extend the Gorilla Island. Right. So it was like an oil spot at sea, which became larger and larger and larger. That's how this whole project became one of the biggest projects we did
it
so
evolved
far.
Over time. Yeah, that's really cool. It's also kind of, because someone asked me to ask you about how you kind of manage guest flow and like where people are walking, are people missing out on certain areas, and how do you tackle that? So that's kind of a nice example of that.
The guests are overall enthusiastic about this part of the park. Lucky for me. But also we had this major problem that the safari restaurant had to be provided with food stock and drink stock, and it always crossed the line of visitors. So there was visitors going from the entrance to the entrance of the restaurant, going from left to right. And there also were employees, but also distributors, which came to provide stock. Yeah. And they were always crossing. So it was a very, it put you completely out of the imagination you were in Africa. So the souvenir shop, actually, it provided nice souvenir shop, but it also provided a nice back of the house. Yeah. Where the visitors would not longer cross the distributors. Yeah. My English is not as good as yours. But so it was a very, very, very nice project, as well for the guests, as well for the employees, as well for the logistics back of the house.
Yeah, just a ton of hitting multiple birds with one stone is how they say it in English. Yeah. All right, so we kind of skipped over the gibbons a little bit, but there's no gibbons in game anyway, so that's a bit of a shame.
Wow, that's just a giant shame.
Yeah.
One of the best animals you could have in a zoo, I think.
Right, so it's also a little bit dated. I wanna improve it soon, but here's the Coltan mine.
The Coltan mine. Oh, this is actually what did you do?
Yeah, it's not. It's not great. This was one of the first things I made, and back then I like
the rocks though.
I wanted guests to come over here. So I put in an ATM, an in-game ATM, so that guests would walk over to get money here.
Wow.
But yeah, there should be a laptop and a radio,
in the park,
right?
We actually want the guests to bring their money.
So yeah.
This is I designed this back in 2016 when I was not yet employed. I did it on a voluntarily base. Yeah. And I'm very, very glad it became truth, because I really believe we have to make steps forward with the education in zoos, and to get rid of only using signs. So I'm really, really, really happy about the Coltan mine. Yeah. It's a nice gradient you use to for the plants. You see, in real life, the planting stops with the bridge.
Oh, right.
So you have this bridge, and where this lady is crossing, and there the plants will stop. And on the other side, this side you're seeing right now, it was all this time. It was a bit of a, it was a bit of a messy area. And now with the black rhinos, we finally made it up. But it's nice how you use this gradient to simply
fade it out a little.
Fade it out a little, yeah, like it.
Yeah.
So you did do a little improvement.
I try to make it look as best as possible, and I try to. I know, at some point I might have used a reference photo that was a bit older than what I was going for, or I'm not sure. I also want to make it look good and accurate, and it's a balance. But yeah, so this is also something that doesn't exist anymore, to sometimes discontent of some photographers. I think a lot of photographers really appreciated the
I know I'm hated right now,
the platform. But let's have a little quick look over here. Here's the boat safari.
This is also this was a giant point of critic that the guests of the walking trail were crossing the safari by car. That's one of the things I didn't like. One of the things I was really critic about, because when I was a ranger, a lot of times I was here standing on the boat, and a lot of times I saw children crossing the safari by car, and as well people who are using the safari by car, and it was like a little dangerous, this situation. So I'm glad it's gone.
Yeah.
The Stanley. Oh, you have to repaint it.
I have to repaint it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest. I really preferred this one.
Seriously?
It's a little bit. It's not as sleek, so to say. It's a bit noisy with all the paintings, but I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little too Disney. I thought it was too much colors, too much, and I really think you can't see where I'm pointing with my mouse, but these paintings on it, I thought they were a little childish.
Yeah, that.
So
That's
this painting you see in the green between the upper deck and the lower deck. No, not the fishes, but the triangles. They will be replaced, so they will get back. So they are not completely done yet. With this winter, I will take it myself and paint on it, and there will be returning some paintings. Oh, that got me sick.
Sorry.
But actually, one thing I really don't like as a designer, I have to be completely honest, is the use of blue, green, red, and yellow in one design.
Yeah,
I'm a bit allergic to that. So I'm very, very glad we had to do that. And a lot of people told me they don't like it.
Oh.
So maybe next time I will discuss it before before make it.
I mean, it's people don't like change in general. I mean, the boats are pretty iconic already.
Yeah, but the weird thing is, before they were turned into this Livingstone and Stanley, we had this brownish camouflage-like boats. They only had some subtle zebra striping on the cabins. So when they were painted this way, a lot of people also didn't like that. So that's funny.
Yeah, see, people don't like change.
They don't like change.
I don't know, like you are. I think you've talked about this before, that you're trying to kind of make the whole park kind of one style, and I think you're going for a bit more of a mature, modern type of style, and that it does fit into that a lot better.
Thank you.
So yeah, the old lying viewing area.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
I don't know if I'm if it's okay when I tell my opinion, but I thought this was one of I really didn't like this viewing point. because you always look down on the lions. Look. This is perfect. Where they're laying now, it's perfect because they led here a lot of times. But now, see, you actually rebuild it so well that I'm getting annoyed again. Look, you have to watch through this fencing to see the lions, and the lions look like pieces of shit because you're standing this high, you're standing 5 meters up, right? And you're looking straight down on a lion, and all the magic and all the respect you could have for a lion is completely gone by now because you as a human stand above the animal. And the thing I like most at designing zoos is to impress people by the power an animal could have. So when I want to show a lion, I want it at least to be on the same level of you as a visitor, because then you see how big and how majestic this lion is.
Yeah.
And it's also for all the animals on the plain we are walking on right now, because now at the top of this body of ground, we can see animals at the left, maybe. We also cannot see them at the right when we are lucky, because mostly you see bushes and leaves of the trees, which are standing left and right.
Here's a camsbok.
Yeah, but look how tiny it is. You're looking front down or top down to the animals, and that's one thing the one thing I really believe in is we have to put visitors with their feet on the ground and let them see our animals on the same level to make sure they see how big and how majestic and how this wildlife is.
Yeah.
When you're getting surrounded by it, I think it's way better than when you oversee it.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I'm a huge fan of what you did with the new black rhino area. I can't wait to get it in here, because for those who don't know yet, this entire kind of elevated body is completely flattened out, and you have a new route that's kind of beyond where the cars used to drive, and you can just see all the way from back there to the other side where there's another walking path. So it's really impressive.
Do you have a water buck
Yeah.
walking around there?
All right, so
Wow.
that's probably something we should mention. The game has a lot of doesn't have a lot of animals that the zoo does, but luckily there is a select group of people that is adding new animals to the game. Which
And they added the water buck?
and they added the water buck of all things.
Oh, applause for those people. I don't know who they were, but
The water buck
That's
here was
great.
made by a person who goes by the name of Bongo Hardwood, who's actually a zookeeper at... I wouldn't be able to tell you what zoo. But yeah, he works a lot with antelopes and stuff like that. So
oh, that's great work.
yeah.
Great work.
So yeah, we'll be seeing a bunch of animals that aren't actually in the game that we've added ourselves. And it's not officially supported, but it does allow me to put in all these animals that otherwise would be missing from the recreation. So that is actually, we're actually coming up. Here's a fun little thing. I noticed one time that the rope was around the waypoint, but yeah, the waypoints are gonna go. They're gone.
Wow.
They confused, especially in the recreation, because I only put waypoint B and waypoint A. It confused a lot of people who were walking around my virtual.
They would all say, "What is this?"
Well, they were
That's
like,
actually the reason we got rid of them, because I think 90% of the visitors was also like, "What's a waypoint?"
I think one person who was touring my zoo was like, "Oh, waypoint C. That means I'm going the right way." And I'm like, "No, it doesn't. It means jack. It means jack shit." So yeah, here we have another modded animal. It's the Kirk's Dick. It's just this adorable little antelope. You barely get to see them because they.
That's why we moved them. So
I saw some of them here yesterday.
Yeah,
but
we also moved
a couple.
I thought it was 3 of them. We moved them to the Okapi enclosure.
Yeah, Yeah, I saw them there as well a couple days ago, and that was the first time I saw them there.
Yeah, that's an experiment, but it works pretty well, and the visibility of the Dik-Diks is better there.
Yeah, it's still you gotta be a little lucky, but
You always have to be a little lucky when you're on a safari.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you take a subscription so you can come back every now and then.
Wow, this is cool, Yuri, and it's like you're walking through history.
Yeah, it is, right? Because this is where the new walking
tube is
route,
already there.
Yeah, this is where the new walking route ends up. Yeah, I probably have to move the tube. I'm not sure if it's in the right spot.
It's not in the right spot.
Yeah,
it has to be a lot to the left.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, so this is kind of the oldest area of the recreation, not of the actual zoo. But this was like the first things I built that I haven't really changed since then. So this is
actually in the actual zoo, it's also one of the remains of the older part of the walking trail. I thought this was made in 1995 or something.
Oh wow! So yeah, we've got the African wild dogs, which have a nice large plane. This is the bachelor group I learned the other day. I took a sunrise safari with a ranger.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I learned that this was actually a bachelor group. I didn't know that before.
I actually don't know. The last time I had a tour as a ranger, but that's already 2 years ago, it was a group of oldies. So it's the non-breeding group. But I don't know, maybe there's only males left of them.
Yeah, they said that it was a bunch of brothers and that they were males. And,
okay.
And these are males as well.
Okay, could be. Yeah, this is the male group of spotted hyenas. We used to have striped hyenas in this area, and then there was a lot of grass. It was great. It was beautiful. It was the best. But yeah, now it's spotted hyenas, and you actually recreated the exhibit perfectly, because now it's a lot of sand.
Yep. Yeah, I found a video. I just happened to stumble across a video of, I think either you or Stein, about the striped hyena. I was like, they used to have striped hyenas? And I clicked the video and I see all the grass. I'm like, where is this? And then I realized it was the hyena habitat. And I was like, oh, that is...
It's truly amazing what the change of an animal could do to a habitat. That's extraordinary.
So yeah, even
this is one of I really don't understand this viewing point.
Sometimes, very rarely, it gives you a better view than the thing from up there, but...
Yeah, but this is such a... I think it's... For me, I don't understand this design. It's this deep. This exhibit is so deep, and it has this viewing point, which you barely see a wild dog. Once in a while you see one.
Yeah, in real life the grass is a lot taller.
This giant hut where we stood just a minute ago. And there you also, you're looking top down again on this small animal a wild dog is. This is one of the weirdest exhibits we have, I think.
Bit dated maybe.
I think I'm going to ask Erik how this was built. Erik designed this, but our former designer was Erik van Vliet.
Okay.
And he's he's still with us. He's actually back in the company again since a few weeks. And I love talking about Beekse Bergen with him because he knows so much about the designs like this, which he designed back in the 90s. Because this, for example, this is one of my favorite viewing spots. I love the way the landscape of the cheetahs
it goes up to the glass.
It was.
When I was at the zoo for the first time for this project, so it was in December 2019, like right after Christmas. There were just a couple of cheetah cubs, and they were right up to the glass, and it was the best experience.
That's right? Yeah, I love this point of view. I don't like the side you have because you see a lot of fans in the back. Actually, in real life it's as well. So maybe we have to improve it a little. But the viewing spot itself, I love it.
And one thing I learned the other day during the sunrise safari, because of course, I'm just recreating what I see in real life, and I'm not always exactly sure why certain things are there. For example, the black things around the trees, it's obviously anti-climbing, like to prevent them from climbing up, but none of the other cheetah habitats have it. So I'd always wondered what that's for, and now I know from last Monday, the cheetah cubs, the babies, they are able to climb. So this habitat is for the babies for up until they're half a year old. They won't be able to get stuck in trees. So yeah.
Completely true.
So that brings us to the Africa village, and I think we're gonna end off the first episode here. So, of course, we are gonna keep going, but for the viewers, they have to wait 1 or 2 days for the next episode. I don't know.
Oh, we're already 1 hour past.
Yeah, we've been going. I forgot to start my timer at the beginning, so I'm not sure how long we've been going exactly. But I think it's time we wrap up the first episode, and the next episode we'll see the Africa village, and we'll see where we go from there. So we'll see you in the next episode.
I'm looking forward to it.
You don't have to wait as long. Bye bye.
Bye bye.